Hello, I'm your friend, Teacher Sam. Today, I will teach you how learning English can be a marathon, not a sprint. Now, you might be wondering, what does running a marathon have to do with learning English? Well, it's quite simple. Just like a marathon, learning a new language demands thorough preparation, unyielding endurance, and heaps of patience. Picture this. A marathon runner doesn't wake up one morning and decide to run 26 miles. They train, they prepare, they strategize. Similarly, diving into the English language isn't about racing to the finish line. It's about laying a solid foundation, gradually building your skills, and steadily progressing at your own pace. In a marathon, it's not about who finishes first, but who can go the distance. The same holds for learning English. It's about lasting the course, taking one step at a time, and enjoying the journey. So brace yourself as we embark on this marathon journey of learning English. Firstly, every marathon begins with preparation. Similarly, learning English requires preparation. Consider this. A marathon runner doesn't just wake up one day and decide to run a marathon. They gather resources, they train, they plan. They understand their body's capabilities and limitations. They map out their race strategy. They know when to push and when to conserve energy. In much the same way, when you embark on the journey of learning English, you need to gather your resources. This might include textbooks, online courses, language apps, or perhaps a language exchange partner. You need to create a study plan outlining when and how you will study. Will you dedicate an hour a day, or perhaps a few hours on the weekend? How will you incorporate all aspects of the language, reading, writing, speaking, and listening? And just as a marathon runner needs to understand their physical capabilities, you need to understand your learning style. Are you a visual learner? Do you learn best by listening, or perhaps you learn by doing? Understanding your learning style can help you tailor your study methods for maximum effectiveness. Preparation is key in both marathon running and in learning English. It sets the stage for success. It gives you the tools and the strategy you need to reach your goal. Just as a marathon runner cannot run without preparation, an English learner cannot learn without preparing. Next, let's talk about endurance. A marathon isn't a quick race. It's about lasting the distance. The same goes for learning English. Just like a marathon, learning English is not about how fast you can get to the finish line, but how long you can keep going. The journey of mastering this language is a marathon, not a sprint. It's about the resilience to keep going, even when it's tough, even when you think you can't make it another step. Picture a marathon runner. They don't start the race at a sprint. Instead, they set a steady pace, one they know they can maintain for the duration of the race. They understand that the race isn't won in the first mile, but the last. They save their energy, pacing themselves, so they have the stamina to cross the finish line. Similarly, learning English is about maintaining a consistent effort over a long period. It's not about cramming all the grammar rules and vocabulary in a week or a month. It's about steadily building your skills day by day, week by week, month by month. Consider vocabulary, for instance. Instead of trying to memorize 1,000 words in one go, why not learn 5 words a day? In a year, you would have learned almost 2,000 words. That's the power of consistency and endurance. Also, just like a marathon runner, you need to avoid burning out too quickly. Don't push yourself too hard in the beginning. Start with manageable goals and gradually increase your learning pace. If you try to do too much too soon, you risk becoming overwhelmed and giving up. Learning English, like running a marathon, requires patience, perseverance, and most importantly, endurance. It's about staying in the race, no matter how long it takes, no matter how tough it gets. It's about the journey, not just the destination. So as you embark on this marathon of learning English, remember to pace yourself. Take it one step at a time, enjoy the journey, and most importantly, keep going. Remember, the key to both a marathon and learning English is endurance, not speed. Finally, let's discuss patience. Every marathon runner knows that the race isn't won in the first mile. Similarly, you won't become fluent in English overnight. Patience is the invisible fuel that powers every marathon runner, the quiet strength that carries them forward when their body screams for them to stop. In much the same way, patience is a crucial part of your journey to mastering English. It's the secret ingredient that will help you persevere through the inevitable challenges and setbacks you'll encounter along the way. Learning a new language is like exploring a vast and complex landscape. There are mountains to climb, rivers to cross, and sometimes you might feel as though you're lost in a dense forest, uncertain of the path ahead. But remember, every marathon runner knows that the race isn't won in the first mile. It's won by those who persist, who keep going even when they're tired, even when they can't see the finish line. Mistakes are a natural part of this journey. They're like the tough miles in a marathon, the moments when you stumble or lose your pace. But the beauty of these moments is that they're opportunities for growth. They're chances to learn, to improve, to become stronger. Just like a marathon runner wouldn't give up after a tough mile, you shouldn't give up after a mistake. Instead, embrace it, learn from it. Let it fuel your determination to succeed. Progress, too, can be slow. You might feel like you're not moving forward fast enough, like you're stuck in the same place. But remember, in a marathon, every step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to the finish line. The same is true when you're learning English. Every new word you learn, every sentence you speak, every piece of grammar you understand is a step forward on your journey to fluency. So, like a marathon runner, be patient and trust the process. Your dedication will pay off in the end, and you'll find that every step, every stumble, every moment of doubt was worth it. Because the race isn't won in the first mile. It's won by those who keep going, who persevere, who stay the course, and that's exactly what you're doing. Now that we have seen how learning English can be like running a marathon, it's important to remember the benefits of this approach. Let's take a moment to revisit the key takeaways from our journey today. First off, we explored the preparation stage, where we learned that a strong start forms the basis for successful language learning. Just like in a marathon, you need to prepare yourself with the right tools and mindset. It's about setting realistic goals, getting the right resources, and planning your route. Next, we dived into the endurance stage. This is where the real grind happens. It's about consistency and practice, just as a marathon runner keeps putting one foot in front of the other, regardless of the pace. Consistency is key to mastering English. Then we touched on the patience stage. In learning English, as in a marathon, there will be ups and downs. But remember, it's okay to take your time. It's okay to make mistakes. What's important is that you keep moving forward, no matter how slow you think you're going. These stages highlight the benefits of viewing English learning as a marathon. It promotes deep learning, builds a strong foundation, and ensures long-term retention. It's not about racing to the finish line, but about enjoying the journey, absorbing the scenery, and growing from the experience. So remember, learning English is a marathon, not a sprint. Embrace the journey, and you'll cross the finish line with a strong command of the English language.